In today's episode, I'm going to give you a few reasons why buying a new camera is not the only option. There's loads of things you can do other than going out there spending loads of money on a brand new camera. I'm going to be using my little whiteboard here. We're going to have a little quick session and I'm going to write down some reasons why you don't need a new camera, as well as not just give you the reasons. I am going to also say to you what you should possibly be spending that money on. So hang about. I'm going to show you live examples. We're going to look at budgets, money, how much you should spend, what you need to think about. So let's get straight into this. Firstly, if you're going to buy a new camera, what can we expect to pay? Green pen for money. So I think if you're looking to buy another camera, you're going to be looking in the region of the low end of it, 500. Let's add 500 there. It could go all the way up to 2,000 easily. So that's kind of the region that you could spend on a brand new camera. Do we necessarily want to do that? Not really. How can we make it better? So what can we do instead of spending all that money and still get a really good upgrade? Well, you'll be lucky enough to know that the camera itself is not your first improvement you need to make. Well, let's think about this relatively. If you don't have a camera at all, maybe getting a camera would be a good idea. But if you already have a camera and you're using one, for example, something as old as what I use, perfectly adequate for video and photos, would you use it? Yeah, I would use it. So let's have a quick look. What are we saying here? This is like a really old camera. However, what would be the first thing to do on there? Well, it's a simple one. You can get a light. You can see I've got a light there. So let's look at that. That's option one. So what would I be expected to pay on a light? Let me bring up an example for you so you can actually see that. Okay, so what I've done there for you is brought up a quick listing to show you roughly what you can expect to pay. This light here will set you back under $25, let's call it. So that is option one for you, which will actually avoid you buying a new camera. If you master light, that's going to be a massive thing that you don't have to worry about. And you'll be surprised how well kit lenses can perform with really good light. Because the main thing that kind of drops you is, oh, wait a minute, it looks too dark, it looks too grainy. So if we were looking at a light, let's put that in a different color so we know where we are. We're looking at under $25. So I'll put an under mark, which is like a terrible under mark, but let's do it 3D. And we'll say 25, which gets you a light. So we're good. We've got a light for under 25. So we're already saving some money because we're not buying a new camera. So that's option number one. So we've got our light. We're going to put the light on our camera. And if you don't already know, I have got a full course teaching you about lighting. It's about 45 minutes long. So you get a full preview of me showing you individual lights, how I place them, where I place them. I actually draw a diagram for you as well. So make sure to check that out and you'll see all of that. But we'll cover these as individual items today. And then I can kind of divert you to additional information about it. So that's one. What about next? Well, a lens. So you can see this camera allows us to take the lens off. Now this is going to be a bigger improvement, as in a more expensive improvement. So what can we expect to pay on a lens? Well, they do say lens is more important than the camera. And you can easily spend a lot of money on it. So you might save that as one of our last options, as in like the last major improvement. So I'll put it all the way down here. And I'll call it lens, just out the way so we can think about it. But I don't want to spend $700-800 on a lens and then blow all your budget. It would be a great option because that will improve a lot of things for you. However, what we want to think about is how we can do it in a clever way. But let's look at another option. So something else I'll mention here is not everybody will have tripods. So we'll put tripods in this bucket, and there's a number of different tripods you can get. There's some that are under about, I'm showing you an example. I'll call it 120. I need to get better at drawing down arrows, which would be a tripod. Oh, how do I draw a tripod? Oh, not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Sorry, it looks like an octopus. But yeah, let me show you a quick tripod. So here in this example, the tripod would be something that will allow you to do a number of things. So you may be familiar with what I'm doing here. I've got like a top-down camera angle and I've got my front view, but everything needs to stay in place on a sturdy tripod, which means there's not going to be any movement. So if I was to get up and come back, you wouldn't know I was gone because everything would stay in place. A lot of people use books or different tables to stack the camera on, and it kind of wobbles around. So that might be something to think about, and it will improve your overall appearance of your video. So that's like a good option, especially with tripods that can do these type of 90-degree swifts. So you can see that there. You can actually have a top-down view. It looks really good. So that's like number 2 on the list, I'll call it. So let's go back here. Let's put 1, 2. We've got a tripod under $120. We're still doing okay because we're not spending the money that we'd be spending on a new camera. So we've got light, which I've picked up. That arrow was supposed to point to a light, which is there now, that light. And then we've got a tripod. So what else would be something we can look at? While they do say a big improvement can be your audio. If you're doing video and the video is not really good quality, if your audio is really nice, people will be willing to look at bad video, as long as it's clear. So what I mean by that is get yourself a nice microphone, people. So this is a USB powered mic. It comes as part of a kit. And what does it allow you to do? Well, you can plug it in via USB, which means your videos are going to sound absolutely amazing compared to what you were using before. If you're using a microphone that isn't as good, isn't as close to you, it will always sound echoey, which is something we want to get away from. So what we're saying here, this is about under $70. But that again is actually a nice little option there to save you a bit of money from buying a brand new camera. Because camera, it depends what the purpose is for the camera. I'm using the example that you're going to be using it for recording videos like I am now. So let's say number 3 will be under 70. So let's put a little under arrow. I'm getting better at the arrow. See how I'm getting better at the arrow now? Yeah, okay. So 70. And that would be, let's see if I can draw a microphone. Oh my god, look at that for a mic. Pro, mate. That's like a racket, innit? That's how we roll with the pro drawings. That's a microphone there, under 70. We'll top this up at the end. But what else can we look at to avoid buying a brand new camera that will make an actual difference? I think you're going to have to get a lens. It's going to have to be something you want to look at. So what can we spend on a lens? Let me show you 2 examples of not too expensive lenses to give you an idea of what you could do. So you'll see up here, which I'll bring you over here. You'll see up here, I use one of these. And the lens that I use on there, I used to live stream with a lot and record video, and it's a 50mm and it's a 1.4. So what can we expect to pay on something like that? Let me show you so you can see it. Well, there is the lens. And you can see that price there, $355. So not too bad. We're still doing all right because we're kind of spending under the price for the lowest, cheapest camera. I'll just spend, say, under $355. So we're going to say under 355, and then that's going to be our lens, which I can just draw as a circle because I'm excellent at drawing. I'm going to keep it nice and simple for you. So now what have we got? Are we saving money or are we spending more money buying the gear around what we want rather than buying a brand new camera? Well, let's do the maths then, shall we? So 70, 80, 90, that's 190 over here, and then we've got 25, so that's 50, 60, 70, 80, 380. We're at yeah. Come on now, bring your maths into this. 8 and 9 is going to be 9 and 9 is 19, 17, 18. Do the maths for me, come on people. 18, 80, so 580, is that right? No, 70, 570. Okay, so 570, which I've wrote terribly there. Is that right? Can someone do the maths for me, please? 570. And we have got all of that, which in theory makes our existing camera better, and we've not spent $2,000 or $500 on the lower scale if you're buying a cheap camera. Even if you bought a 500 camera, we would still need to get this stuff to make it better. So that's why it's going to be a good idea not to buy just the camera. You want to look at ways to improve the video overall around it to make it a nice experience. So that's like a quick look at that with some examples of things to think about. So that's some reasons why I think you don't need a new camera. You need things to make your existing camera better. Here's another video to check out about lighting, and if you're not a member, you need to become a member to be able to view that. I'll see you on the next video.